Well, hello there. I thought I'd record this video. A colleague of mine, Russell Brunson of ClickFunnels fame, has got a launch called The Secrets of Propaganda. And I've been seeing some ads from it, and I wanted to show you them and do a little commentary because I think this gets at the heart of why I do my work the way that I do it. So here's the Secrets of Propaganda sales page. But let's look at one of the ads here.
Controversial mind hijacking manifesto. He said society literally divides between the mesmerists and the mesmerized. Those with the most power and wealth tend to be the most powerful mesmerists. Money and power and mesmerism are linked. Now, setting aside your possible squeamish feelings about mind hijacking, truth be told, wouldn't you like to exert
I'm sorry, possible squeamish feelings about mind hijacking. Okay, the wouldn't you like to exert,
outsized influence over others? The answer
wouldn't you like to have outsized influence over others? So you can see already there's this there's this setup of influence over others, mind hijacking. This person has no control, I have control. There's more coming.
if you're honest, is yes. Because in an attention economy, influence isn't just power, it's survival. In this video you're about to watch, we're going to unravel the dark lineage and show you these same tactics, when used ethically, can become the most powerful weapon in your online business. In this video, you'll discover how you can harness the stolen science to turn strangers into raving customers.
Okay, so that's the the video. But yeah, so that's the first thing, right? Mind hijacking. Don't you want to have outsized influence over other people? This is goes so against my understanding of consent. The idea that you're going to have an influence on other people that they don't understand you're having, that you're going to hijack their mind, all of this. You should feel squeamish about it. It's possible squeamish feelings. Oh my God, if you don't have squeamish feelings, what's wrong with you? Okay. And also this notion of either the mesmerized or the mesmerist, that's all there is. That the world divides up into those who have power and those who don't. The people who can propagandize and the ones who are propagandized, the ones on the delivering end, the one on the receiving end, and you have to choose who are you going to be. I think that's an unfortunate binary because it suggests that you have to be playing that game. But you can also decide, I'm out. I'm out of that game. I have no interest in being mesmerized, and I have no interest in mesmerizing others. He makes it sound like there's nothing else in the world besides those two things. And I disagree. Okay, let's take a look at this one.
Right now, as you read this, these techniques are being used on you. That Facebook ad that seemed to read your mind, that webinar that had you pulling out your credit card before you knew it happened, that guru who made you feel like they were the only ones who actually understood you, they're all using the same playbook. A playbook that was started with Freud's discovery of the unconscious, was then weaponized by Bernays, perfected by Kennedy, and is now being deployed at scale and sophistication that would terrify even them. The question isn't whether these techniques work. The evidence is overwhelming. They shaped the last century of human behavior. The question is what happens when you learn to use them yourself? Because here's the truth that Kennedy understood that Bernays didn't. In a world where everyone's trying to manipulate everyone else, the only real power is in becoming the manipulator instead of the manipulated. In this video you're about to watch,
Let's just pause there for a second. You see again, there's the frame. You're either the manipulated or the manipulator. That's it. Those are your only choices. Do you want to be the patsy and the pushover, or do you want to be the pusher? This is an incredibly impoverished view of what it means to be human. It's appalling to me.
we're going to unravel the dark lineage and show you these same tactics when used ethically, can become the most powerful weapon in your online business. In this video, you'll discover how you can harness the stolen science to turn strangers into raving customers.
Okay. So you can, excuse me, just plug my computer in. So you can see that the whole fulcrum here, the whole pitch is that yes, there are these terrible dark secrets. They're really awful. They've made people do awful things. But if you use them ethically, you could do something good with them. I seem to recall J.R.R. Tolkien having written a trilogy about this dynamic. He wrote three whole books on it. That question, can you use the Ring of Power for good? Well, we should use it to defend Gondor. You know, everybody who sees the ring, it tempts them in a different way. They'd want that power for something else. Galadriel wants to keep away from it because she says she knows she would become terrible beauty. So can you use the Master's tool to dismantle the Master's house, as Audre Lorde said? Can you use these dark psychological tools and tactics, this level of power for good? Now, certainly, there's something in the hippie world where we're scared of power. We want to avoid even being consequential in the world, which is worth noting. There's a kind of collapse that happens that, oh, I'm super sorry. Oh, hey, don't mind me. No boundaries. That collapse thing in the scene, that's true. Um, and so I think that's part of that's the nerve that these ads are hitting on, that people who do the kind of work that he's helping with, there's often a collapse. There's often I make myself small. I don't matter. Your needs matter. My needs don't. It's lose win. I lose, you win. The important thing is you win. I just want to help. It's the overgiving, all that. But what he's saying is the only other alternative is this posturing. You know, is this puffing up? Is this, I'm no longer going to be the one who's manipulated. Now I will do the manipulating. And I think there's a third alternative, which is not collapsing, it's not posturing, it's composure. Yeah. Not trying to, we don't want to come across or have a lack of confidence. We don't want to be overconfident. To me, the goal is be comfortable in your own skin. That's the third alternative. But more to the point, he's saying, well, you can use these tactics ethically. From what I've seen of his work and some of the people he's connected with, I question his notion of ethics. This isn't personal towards brother. I'll never see this video, but this isn't from what I've seen, he's a very likable fellow. He's brilliant. I've got his book. I hope to read it. So this isn't a slam at that. But I think he and I would have a very different understanding of ethics. For me, ethics comes down to this. You and I are engaged in a candid conversation to get to the truth of, is this a fit or not? It is not to get the sale. And from what I've seen, I don't see that distinction being made by Russell or Eileen Wilder, who he's worked with, and you know, I don't know Dan Kennedy, though he's a brilliant, and I've read some of his books and loved his work. It could be that this whole thing is a bait and switch, and that there's really some ethical backbone to it, but I don't see it. And this is what concerns me so much in modern marketing: is the justification of manipulation, the conceptual frameworks for coercion to make you feel like it's okay because if you don't manipulate them, somebody else will. And you're either the manipulated or the manipulator, and this easy binary that hits the survival instinct. But I think it's, are we interested in the truth or are we only interested in the sale? Is the goal of the agenda of using these tactics to get to the truth, or is it to get them to buy, to whip out their credit card, spend money? If it's the latter, it's unethical, or it's going to be guaranteed. If your whole vibe is, I'm going to use these tactics to get them to say yes, you're going to manipulate people. And if your goal is I'll use these tactics, because these tactics might be able to be used ethically, but it depends what the goal is. If the goal is we're going to have a conversation that filters to see if there's a match here, it's not going to manipulate. If your agenda is to get to the truth, it'll be clean. That's the fulcrum. I feel like a broken record sometimes saying this, but that's the difference. And I've seen so many of my colleagues say, no, you're going to learn how to how to market without doing sketchy, slimy, manipulative things. But everything in their teachings is about how do you get people to say yes. And what they mean by ethically is like, how do you cover it up so people don't notice it? Or they've rationalized, they have a strange sense of ethics where what they mean by ethics is you have something that's valuable, right? Don't you? And they need help, don't they? They need the kind of help you offer. So if they don't get the help, aren't you hurting them? And aren't people fundamentally indecisive and need help making decisions? You see what I'm saying? There's all these strange rationalizations on this. And I call it Novocaine for the soul. It's those rationalizations are there to numb us from the realization that we're doing something awful, that we're working people, we're manipulating people. What happens when you approach somebody like you're the puppet master and they're the puppet? What does it do to them to be seen as a puppet? What does it do to them to be seen as an automaton where you can just push the buttons? It's not a hypothetical question. Look out at the world. Look at what's become of us. This is in part because of the way we treat each other and see each other. There's another way. Um, I'm going to dig more into this. He's got a full video. I'm gonna give it a watch and listen, and maybe I'll do another video on it. Anyways, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. These are my thoughts on those little commercials. Thanks so much, everybody.